good, so that's why she got kicked out and she tried to get back in. Is the
Recording
room is
in
full,
progress.
so if I cannot do anything. But she just say like enjoy the room. She get video and she will watching it later.
Still, these technologies are not the best. But in any case, we have to continue. So tonight we'll be holding a very important and crucial communication meeting. So, and I hope every member will attend. Not every, but most of us, of course, here Zoom, unfortunately. Right. It would be better to meet offline. I understand it, but during this period, unfortunately, it's impossible. Really impossible. So, right. And I also urge everyone to listen attentively to today's meeting. This is very crucial, not only for your personal financial security, but also for the stability of the entire team and our upcoming critical IPO phase. So many people selectively receive information. But today I hope you listen with a sense of responsibility, of course, and you represent not only yourself, but also your team, right? So how much you understand and comprehend today actually determines not only your ability to accurately convey the correct information, but also the future of the team, whether it leads to steady development or unnecessary risks due to cognitive basis. So therefore, so please treat today as a meeting you must understand and digest, not just something you passively listen to while cooking something in the kitchen. Right, so please pay attention. I really hope you will. Right, so it's time for weekly Zoom meeting call again, as usual. So to be honest, we've faced quite a few things this week, and each one has been crucial. So the most significant issues which everyone's been concerned about is inability to log into the DSGX website. So secondly, there's a series of chain reactions stemming from the phenomenal progress of this IPO, because it's the first time for us to do that. We faced some circumstances, but we'll manage this. So this IPO also has undeniably garnered enormous attention, friends, and influence globally. So in fact, it has far exceeded our expectations, by the way, because this has directly resulted in me working over 20 hours a day lately, yet I still feel like I don't have enough time. This also illustrates that our overall development is entering a very crucial and rapid phase. Okay, so let's focus on these two key points first. So first, since we officially announced the IPO, it has indeed garnered significant attention and participation globally. So, however, I've also noticed that many people still don't really understand what adding a permanent signal really means. So, if you haven't realized its importance, there's only one fundamental reason you haven't truly grasped the power of compound interest. It's just like when you gain an extra opportunity for compound interest each day. It's not just about making one more transaction, right? So it means your income structure has changed. Your income has an increased potential for growth every day. Not only is your principal working for you, but your daily earnings are also constantly creating new returns. This core compound interest and one of the most crucial and powerful growth logics in the financial industry. So you will discover fundamental truths in the early stages. A compound interest, you're pushing the snowball, right? But in the later stages, the snowball is pushing you in return. This is how it works. Simply put it. So those who truly make a lot of money aren't necessarily smarter. There are those who didn't choose to leave prematurely when the snowball was still small, but preserved and completed the process, of course. So if you haven't seen a particularly obvious results yet, but you're anxious, you're likely the snowball isn't big enough. It's not at this stage where it's supposed to be right now, but this stage is the easiest to give up on. But it's also precisely the most crucial one, the crucial stage. So there's really only one thing you need to do. Keep going and keep doing the right thing. So this is precisely the core meaning behind this event, co-hosted by BG Wells, Sharon, and Dear Jackson. And by now you should have a clearer understanding of what compound interest truly means and where its real power lies. Right. So looking back at each of our events and strategies, they've never been just a simple plan, right? But rather guided by a very clear logic and development direction. So on the surface, this appears to be about expanding to global markets and increasing transactions activity. But at deeper level, it's about giving more ordinary people the opportunity to participate and gain a more stable development path and, of course, continuous profit opportunities. This is not merely an expansion of business, but an extension and amplification of a value system, right? So, of course, we must also be clear that the outside world may not view all of this from the same perspective. As the platform's influence continues to grow and traffic continues to accumulate, so every action we take will be amplified, interpreted, and even misunderstood. So, in such an environment, different periods, normal and inevitable. So, right, so some abnormalities. So, but more importantly, we ourselves must understand that external judgments are often based on incomplete information, and only we, who are actively involved, truly understand the whole picture and the whole process, of course. So, therefore, instead of arguing, let's verify with results. Instead of being swayed by emotions, let's return to the facts. So a truly mature participant should possess the ability to think independently and make judgments based on facts, only facts. Okay, let's talk about the DSX login URL, right? As I mentioned before, before this meeting, so the overall buzz surrounding this event is unprecedented, right? This concentrated surge in traffic caused the DSX login URL to experience unexpected anomalies in a short period. So, however, I hope everyone can look at this from a different perspective. Behind every problem lies a larger change in the making. So this time the problem isn't fundamentally a system malfunction, but rather a surge in traffic. So here I need to clarify, as DSX global user base continues to grow, the platform now boasts over 2 million users right now, right? And during peak hours, a large number of users simultaneously accessing the login portal can easily lead to congestion, right? So furthermore, the high frequency of access may trigger network security systems, resulting in risk warning, etc. So one crucial reason is that a large number of users are using the same entry at the same time. Of course, they're triggering the system's anomaly warnings and restriction mechanisms, right? You know, all these programs installed against bots and everything. So even sometimes for me, it's hard to log into my mail because I have to prove that I'm not a robot, and I just simply give up with all these quiz and stuff. So in other words, it's because the project is so popular, so too many people are using it, not because it's unusable. So of course, GSX underwent an emergency upgrade and maintenance just yesterday. So after this round of optimization, I believe everyone can clearly feel that the overall login situation has improved significantly since DSG's website was updated. So, and more members are familiar with and able to use the new login link. So successfully completing the login and trading operations, of course. Also, want to tell you that during this period, many people haven't experienced a single instance of being unable to trade due to website login failure. So the reason is simple. It wasn't a problem for them because it involves their own interests. They know what to do. Do not worry. So, and however, at the same time, we must objectively recognize a real issue. Currently, some members haven't yet developed a habit of regularly checking on the bond chat group. Of course, I know about that. Therefore, they can't get the latest login URL immediately. They easily experience unnecessary panic and worry, right? Instead of scrolling the chat up. So in fact, the essence of this problem isn't the system, but your cognition and habits. So since you've chosen to join BG World Sharing, you should be responsible for your commitment, of course. And every day, I will continuously share the latest information, market dynamics, and investment philosophy, and knowledge enhancement, of course. Content in the Bondchain group, please check it out. Don't be lazy. It shouldn't take a lot of your time. So this content is not just a notification, but the best way for you to truly understand BG, improve yourself, and build your judgment, of course. And of course, once you start actively learning, you'll gradually build your own cognitive system. You'll clearly know how to correctly log into DSGX and how to operate it, no longer relying on others. This process is like getting a brand new mobile phone. If you only use it to make calls and send texts, its value is severely underestimated. So only when you're willing to study to become familiar with it and develop it, can you truly make it create greater practical value for you, right? Because it's true. Right now we have so many new devices, but we don't pay attention to it. Maybe it could change our lives for better or for worse. Who knows? But in any case, here I'd also like to take this opportunity to carefully outline a few things for you. Must do after joining BG World Sharing, right? So first, you must develop the habit of regularly following Bondchain, please. It's very crucial because this is currently BG World Sharing, Sharing's only official information channel and our only core communication platform. So all important notices, meeting schedules, trading analysis, and investment philosophies will be released in the group immediately. So, and I will explain and analyze the day's trading codes in the group every day, while also continuously sharing the underlying logic of investment and financial management. So often the answers to your questions can be found simply by looking at the group, and because most of the questions are the same from different people. So you'll find your answer even if other person asks this question. So secondly, after you begin learning and understanding, it's crucial to maintain continuous communication and of course connection with your team, right? So everyone needs to learn and grow in stages. Maintaining interaction with your team, it's the most basic and important requirement. So only through continuous participation and communication can you truly absorb the experience and growth path for your leaders, right? And outstanding team members, right? Thereby continuously strengthening yourself and becoming more capable, right? You learn from the best to be the best, right? So copying the success of others often allows you to progress faster, right? So, in fact, observant individuals will notice that when faced with problems or unexpected situations, the most prone to panic and anxiety are often those who have never truly learned, right? So why? Because they don't know what to do, because they simply don't know how, how, what should they do, how to begin, and everything like that. So from day one, they relied on their team leaders and never proactively learning or understanding, right? So some had even been with BG for 6 months or a year or more, still didn't understand the most basic operational procedures yet, so, unfortunately. And this is not only responsible towards their own investment career and their funds, but also towards their team leaders, towards the BG organization itself, and even more so towards their own future, their families and everything, their plans. Therefore, since you've chosen to join BG, please take this choice seriously. Love it, understand it, and through continuous learning, grow into a truly capable and responsible participant, even even a future leader, right? So there's a saying I've always agreed with: God is faith to everyone. We are all born with two eyes, 2 ears, and one mouth. Essentially, He wants you to see more, listen more, speak less, and learn more. So this world is, in a sense, is fair. Everyone has one head, two hands, and everything, right? We're all the same, but we live in the same earth, and time is exactly the same for everyone, right? So as long as you are willing to put in the effort, you have the opportunity to fight for your own life, right? Because no one will do it for you. I've saw a lot of examples myself when people just gave up for no reason, maybe depression or something else, I don't know, but they always try to avoid the chances they were given to, unfortunately. And there was no reason, because it's irresponsible in front of yourself, first of all. So, but in any case, in this world, from another perspective, it's also unfair. Everyone comes from different backgrounds, right? Receives a different education, has different cognitive foundations, right? Unfortunately, however, there is one thing that can be changed, right? Your cognition. And the only way to change your cognition is through continuous learning, of course. So if you haven't yet developed the habit of following bond chats and at the start of the day, I hope you'll take this seriously. And of course, treat it as a daily essential discipline. So, because this is not just about reading information, but about laying the foundation for your future. Because first you work for your education, the education works for you. Next, I must discuss with you the issue of delayed deposits and withdrawals on DHX. This part is crucial, I know it, because we've talked with Linda about it right now, so before the meeting. So, and I hope everyone can truly understand it right now. So let me just explain. So why do some people receive funds within 24 hours on DHX while others have waited 2 or even 7 days? That's unfortunate, but yeah, it's true. First, the DHX withdrawals are processed strictly according to the order of submission. So every withdrawal, especially large ones, requires DHX customer service and assistant teams to verify the account information. Right, so after confirming everything is correct, will the formal withdrawal process begin, given the current high volume of applications. So the queue itself is significantly lengthened, as usual, more than usual. This is an objective reality. So secondly, accounts that haven't received funds within 3 or 7 days are likely involved in additional review process. So primarily including the following situations, like let me check. I made a note because I've talked to them. Just be more precise on this matter. So yeah, because first is large withdrawals, right, exceeding 50% of the account principal, especially accounts with almost no withdrawal history that suddenly make large withdrawals require stricter identity and operational security verification. So next, number two is first withdrawal must complete a high level of authentication, process and verify identity with relevant personnel to ensure it is indeed the account holder making the operation. So next, number three is changing the previously linked wallet addresses constitutes a change in the destination of funds and must be verified also and confirmed again. So next reason number four is frequent and multiple withdrawal requests within a short period will be automatically flagged as abnormal, right? So basically the abnormal activity, it's not very usual. So the system requires further verification to confirm whether it represents a user's true intention, right? So basically, these are some of the main reasons why some members experience withdrawal delays. However, I need to make it very clear. All withdrawals that comply with the procedures will eventually be credited to your account. The existence of these review standard is essentially to ensure the maximum security of each member's funds. So just think about it. If your funds were stolen or lost without any prior inquiry during your withdrawal process, that would be truly irresponsible towards your funds. So thirdly, and most importantly, the overall impact of this IPO's activity has far exceeded normal levels, right? So currently, tens of thousands of people worldwide are simultaneously making deposits and withdrawals daily. So resulting in a workload increase, not just slightly, but rather large scale, I would say. So under such pressure, the review process, queuing mechanisms as well, and actual disbursement speed will, of course, or naturally be lengthened. So just try to be patient. Of course, I want to emphasize again, delays do not mean funds cannot be received. Delays are a normal phenomenon under extreme pressure. It's progress and improvement and refinement of the system, basically. So therefore, especially during this period, please avoid emotional actions and frequent repetitive applications. Doing so will not speed things up, but will only further burden the system and accelerate the cognition in the overall review process, right? So what you need to do most right now is to be patient and follow the normal procedures. Your money will arrive when it's due, right? So please be patient, as just because we are about to get to another stage, another phase of this whole plan of IPOs. I hope you can understand. I know it's not pleasant, but this is what we have to do. I mean, I sometimes have to wait in the queue for some reasons, but I'm okay with it. For example, if you go to buy some coffee in the Starbucks or whatever, you see a line of people right over there. They can't just serve you right away. Sometimes there's not too many people in front of you, but the problem is that the personnel is not very experienced sometimes, right? But this is not the case. We have a huge line, so please wait and be patient. And also to summarize, the logic is quite simple. Just like when you go to the bank to transfer money, it might be completed quickly when there are fewer people, right? It's the same example. But during peak times, such as holidays, you need to wait in line longer, or even make an appointment in advance. So this isn't because the bank won't process your request, but because there are too many people naturally slowing down the process. And therefore, it's normal for deposits and withdrawals to basically experience some delays in the next couple of days. So please remain patient and stay rational. Every sum of money will eventually arrive safely in your respective orbits. So the drifting clouds invokes wondrous thoughts, right? The setting sun and the affection of old friends remind us to be sincere. Even mountains and seas may crumble, but the promise made will never be broken. This tells us to keep our word. So there are no merely poetic verses, but the fundamental logic of conduct. So relationships between people sometimes begin with a simple expression continues through long years of interaction, and ultimately are truly tested and just solidified by the word trust.
hơi giàu